Let's go out to the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop hundreds of Toyotas indoors in one of America's largest showrooms, the Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. Always love getting some time to talk to Ricky Williams, who on October 27th, this Friday from noon until 1 p.m., he is going to be at Gold Leaf in Sebring, Florida. And he's got his Heisman brand. He can tell us all about it. Ricky, what's going on, man? How are you? Thank you so much for giving us some time on the show. We always appreciate it.
Yeah, I always love coming on. Talking to my South Florida peeps.
When was the last time you came back to a game?
I haven't been to a game in a few years. It's been probably 5 years since I've been to a game.
You're going to be in Florida. It's a home game.
Okay, I'll do it.
I would say
negotiation, Leroy.
Well, no, because here's the deal. And the times have changed so much that people understand more what you were going through and appreciate, what you did for the Dolphins. Like, I've never heard a bad word about Ricky Williams. That wasn't always the case, but now I think people have a better understanding of what you were going through. And I'm like, come on back, brother. Let's go see a game. The people miss you down here.
I'm afraid that if I go to a game, I want to go suit up again. Especially, I'm telling you, especially a game in that stadium. Is that there's so many memories.
Right.
It wouldn't be a smart idea, but I'm saying that's my fear.
Hey, I thought that too. And then when I got up and walked onto the field and I was limping, I realized that I'm where I belong.
I get that too.
Yeah, I know. Hey, you ever get up and you're like, when did I hurt this? Ow! You just start your arm. Yeah, man. That's life of a running back. People don't understand. You get hit for no reason.
It's real. My shoulders. I'm telling you. Some days I wake up and my whole arm's tingling.
Yo,
it's real.
Yeah. You gotta rotate. You can't sleep on the same side every night. Otherwise, go get you.
Ricky, Dolphins had a big game this past weekend against the Eagles. This tush push. This is cheating, yeah. Like, what do you think of this thing? This seems like crap. They get to line up and play Australian rules football. I don't like this play.
I didn't like it when they made that rule change, but it's been like that for a decade now, and so it only sucks when it happens against your team.
That's right.
Yeah, you know what? And when even when I was playing, but then when you were playing, that was illegal.
Yeah,
and they changed it, and I think a lot of people are mad. Not because people do it, but that's the only team that really does it well. And how can you take that out if it's only one team that has, so much success doing it? You're almost penalizing them for being good at something.
It was kind of like when we ran the Wildcat, especially that first year, is that other teams tried to do it, but no one could really do it the way we did it. And it was, that first year before people got film on it, it was impossible for people to stop.
Right.
What is that reaction when you see another team trying to copy your stuff, but they don't do it as good because you guys have had the jump on it?
Well, we had the jump, but also we spent 45 minutes every single day that whole season walking through the Wildcat. So it just taught me that this is the league, right? You only have so much time to prepare, and whoever's preparing the most for a certain area is going to be better at that one thing. Another example was we played the Chargers. This is when LaDainian was at his peak, and this is when Nick Saban. So this was 2006, and we went down to San Diego and we actually beat them. Right, and I counted the amount of times they ran counter with LaDainian. They ran that same counter play 28 times in one game, 28 times. And the way they ran counter and why he was so good was they ran it so many times and no one could defend it because they had seen every single look. And so it really helps me appreciate repetition. And whoever does something more is going to be better at it.
Rick, I tell people this all the time. I say, we pretty much have an idea of what all the offenses are going to run, all the defenses they're going to be in, and they put little twists on it, right? But it's the same basic stuff from week to week. But just because it's coming, the defenders used to yell, coming your way, and you still break up a 30-yard run. It's like, just because don't mean you can stop it. And I think people get caught up in so much information that's known they forget that you still have to stop it on the field. And that's the true art of sport, is that you know what's coming, but I can't beat the guy across from me.
And especially in football, because it's a team thing. And so an example of that, so the counterplay, just to break it down, everybody blocks down, a guard and another person pulls. So you get all this wash, and then you get two lead blockers coming into the hole. And even if you know it's coming, everyone on the defense has to do their job exactly right, and the person that's free to make the tackle has to make the tackle. So you got to learn to work together as a team.
Ricky, can you tell us a little bit about your appearance coming up on Friday and what you got going on there in Sebring, Florida?
Yeah, it's an appearance, but it's a little bit more than that. So in the United States, because of the cannabis regulation, some states are medical, some states are recreational, some states are nothing. And so as a cannabis business, if we're going into a new market or to a new state, we have to find a partner in that state. All right. And so obviously most of my story, especially around cannabis, occurred in Florida. And so it's an appearance, but it's really the launching of Heisman in the state of Florida. It's just the beginning, but we're here. And I'm really excited because so my job in the company, and it's the best job in the world, okay, is I get to go to a new market, and I get to visit all of the farmers, all of the cultivators, and I get to test all the samples to see who's growing the best. And then I get to hang out with the people and get a sense of who they really are. Because if I'm bringing my brand, I want to make sure that we're sourcing the best material. And our partners, Gold Leaf and Ideal in Florida, across the country, the best. And so it feels really good to me to be bringing what, in my opinion, what is the best to the state of Florida. And so Friday we're kicking everything off.
That's pretty cool. That's cool because and the regulations are different in every state, and you kind of have to work your way through all those things. But that's good to hear. Maybe you'll be back down here more, visiting.
100%. 100% I'll be.
All right.
Yeah.
All right now. All right.
And I can finally visit my way, right?
Yes. Ricky, the Dolphins got picked for an in-season Hard Knocks. What do you would you have enjoyed that experience? I know your relationship with the media when you played, was it definitely went through its evolvement. So how do you think you would have handled, I guess, a show being around your team?
I would have loved it. I would have loved it because to me, Hard Knocks, by definition, it's media, but there's not a person writing that's blocking the media from actually seeing who we are. And I think, what I found in my whole career, what was missed was my work ethic. People got caught up in the cannabis and all, in the wedding dress and the trade and all that other stuff. But what was missed is that I was probably top 2 or 3 every team, hardest worker on the team. And I think if, Hard Knocks was covering us, people would have been like shocked at how much I grind.
I think people don't realize how hard it is to prepare, not for just the season, but just getting hit so much. Your body has to be in such good shape to take that pounding for so long that, it gets lost because all they see you on a Sunday. They don't see you in May and in June and July. They see you in September.
Ricky, that time too for Tyreek Hill right now, it just seems like every game he goes out there, unstoppable. When you're at the peak of your powers and defenses are all scheming to take you out, and you still get them. What was I guess that time of your career like when everybody's trying to stop Ricky Williams, but they can't stop Ricky Williams?
So to me, we talked about team. That's a team experience. Okay. Because I've been on teams where everyone was trying to stop me and they did. Okay. And it was a team experience in that situation too. So I'd say the top of the list who gets the credit for that situation is the offensive coordinator. Leroy said it best, right? Everyone knows what we're going to do, but you put a little twist on it. And a good coordinator can put enough twist on it that it makes it more difficult for the defense to stop. And then second, obviously goes to the whole offensive unit. Because, if I'm a receiver, and I'm trying to get ready for my game and everyone's talking about the running back, you you got to put your ego aside and say there's going to be some times where my biggest plays in the game are going to be a block and not necessarily a catch. And so you got to have buy-in. You got to have buy-in from the team, and you got to have a lot of skill and care at the coordinator position.
Ricky, what do you make of like running back by committee nowadays? Like, the Dolphins have a handful of running backs and they're all lightning fast and they all run a certain way. A lot of teams rotate 2-3 guys. I think what gets lost is that you might have a really good running back that's just trying to find his groove during the course of a game, and he never gets that opportunity. And you're like playing Russian roulette with running backs and hope one pops. Is that the way to go? Or do you need to let I think running backs need to get 5-10 carries before you can tell if they're seeing things right.
It's tricky, but in my career, I split time with Ronnie for last several years in Miami, and we literally split time. He would do 2 series, I would do 2 series, he would do 2 series, and we had this friendly competition where if we saw somebody was on a roll, we might say, "Stay in there, let him go, because we understood the big picture about the team, and I think if a team is going to do running back by committee, a couple of things have to be in place. You got to have the right running backs that care about each other and that want each other to be successful. That's one. And 2, you got to have a skillful running back coach that has that sensitivity to feel who's got the hot hand and to have a sense of what does this running back do best, what does this running back do best, and how can I put them both in situations to be successful.
You buy it, Ricky, with a game like they just had against the Eagles, where it's like, a measuring stick game against a good team. If you lose that game, what as a team, how do you handle, I guess, your feeling of, are we really that good because we've beaten up on some teams with bad records? Or is it okay to just feel like, hey, we could take some good stuff from a loss and still craft a lot? Because there is, I think, 11 games left. Yeah,
so you called it. It's a measuring stick. Okay, right. And if you measure yourself and you're up to the task, right, you still have to keep building on it. But if you measure yourself and you're not, that's where you got more work to do. And to me, I think what fans lose sight of is that football season is long, and the teams that are the best at the end are the ones who got better throughout the season. Is that it's not like you throw a team out there week 1 and you're like, that's my team. No, right? We go through these intense battles and we spend a lot of time watching film to learn from those battles. And so the best football teams, they keep getting better and they learn from their mistakes. You play a good team, your weaknesses get exposed. It's on film now. Now you know what to work on. Because the other thing about the league, it is a copycat league. And if a team sees you struggle against something, the next 3 teams you face.
Man, what did they tell you in camp? If we don't pick up this blitz, we'll see it all year. And that's exactly what happened. Every team will blitz you once or twice in the preseason. If you don't pick it up in the preseason, every team you play for the first 5 weeks until you pick it up is going to blitz you.
Yes. But, right, the sixth team, you're going to know how to pick up that blitz.
Right, exactly. Eventually, if you figure it out, eventually somebody going to pay. But that's the whole part, the process of the football season is that, whoa, we thought we were good at this, and this team just handled us. We got to change it up a little bit.
Exactly.
Ricky, we always appreciate the time. Thanks so much. And go see Ricky. He's coming up on Friday, October 27th from noon until 1 at Gold Leaf in Sebring, Florida. Really, really cool event. He's going to be in Florida more with his Heisman brand, doing a lot of great stuff. And anything else you want to say about Friday, Ricky?
Nah, if people are in the area, please come check it out. It'll be a cool experience. Instead of me and football, it's me and weed. It's different. It's cool.
As only Ricky can say it. It's different.
Yes. It's different.
Thanks for the time, Ricky. Take care.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, you guys take care.
All right.
There you go. Ricky Williams.
Hey, yo, you ain't gonna never win that conversation with me and him. You just we chop it up all. We chop it up all the time. Yeah.
Football.
Yep. Because I tell people all the time. Huh?
I said it really should be a conversation. You could have it at the event, right? And they're selling weed. It should be in the weeds with some weed. Because you're in the weed.
I wanted to ask him how long did it take him to build this house? because it looked like he was living in a log cabin. Didn't it?
It looks really nice.
That was
Yeah, I'm just saying.
fancy treehouse.
Hey, let me explain something to you.
I
Hey, would it be far-fetched
vibes.
for Ricky to try to build his own house?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. I know what I'm talking about.